What is up, guys? Killerkev, and today we're talking about the Xbox One and why I've named it the Xbox One Loser. Now, I've played Xbox my whole entire life. I have owned a PS2, never owned a PS3, always had an Xbox in my house. So, I just want to say to Microsoft, thanks ever so much for bringing out an Xbox One, because now I'm going to the PS4. We're going to pick up some points as well in this video on why people did not like the decisions that they made, some interviews and some reveals in this video. So if you haven't seen all the juicy gossip and everything else, make sure you stick around because we will be touching up on those things. Well, okay, let's jump into the design of the Xbox. Ready when you are, which will be never, because I'm never buying your console, so it doesn't actually matter. So let's look at the design. Let's talk a little bit about the design of the Xbox One. Now, personally, it looks like a PS3 in a shoebox had sex, made a little baby, and there's the Xbox One. It doesn't look that inventional. This looks like a massive IP camera, and what I've heard, it apparently does essentially monitor the majority of the stuff that you do. Obviously with the DMI and always connected to the internet. I think that it will probably monitor you an awful lot. Now, I'm not too sure how big this is, but to be honest, the actual Xbox One does look pretty big, let alone the new Kinect. It looks ridiculously big. Probably might just fit on a 50-inch TV, but that's my personal preference. But I don't know until I get it. Cloud power as well, not looking so bright for the Xbox fans. Okay, now we've actually had a look at it, we're actually going to look at the interview that was discussed after the release of all the details about the Xbox One. A lot of people were actually really upset. Here's one of the interviews that were actually taking place by the key person that is connected to the manufacturers of Xbox One, and I'm going to discuss some reasons on there when we get to it as well. So here's a quick interview, have a little listen and I'll come back in a minute.
The games.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I think people are going to love it, and then they're going to understand what we're trying to create and how it links games and entertainment, the functionality of the box, some of the advantages that you get of having a box that is designed to use an online state.
It's hilarious how he refers to it as the box. What box? Shoebox? A box? Not Xbox One or the One, just box. Here's the rest of the interview.
So that, to me, is a future-proof choice, and I think people could have arguably gone the other way if we didn't do it, and fortunately we have a product for people who aren't able to get some form of connectivity. It's called Xbox 360.
Right. So stick with 360. That's your message. If you don't,
Well,
if you don't like it.
if you have zero access to the internet,
then Microsoft and any other company linked to it does not give a shit about your actual preferences or priorities. Microsoft, this is a big wrong step for you. Personally, you should have released it with no DRM and no connected to the internet all the time. This is what made other consoles sell particularly well. I know we're coming into a new modern day, but this is something that you can't actually do, which is really silly. So basically you're telling your customers and fans of Xbox to basically fuck off. Here's the rest of the interview.
that is an offline device. I mean, seriously, when I read the blogs and thought about who's really the most impacted, there was a person who said, hey, I'm on a nuclear sub, and I don't even know what it means to be on a nuclear sub, but I've got to imagine that it's not easy to get an internet connection.
Very brief, but I'm not going to go into it that much because I won't actually be buying this console, so it doesn't actually matter. I would like to try the new franchise and all the old games like God of War that I have not actually played. I've always been Xbox, it's always been something like Halo, so for me and any other Xbox fanboy, really consider about going to PS4. This could benefit you greatly because obviously there's more variety of games. I'm going to cut it there because this video has been longer than I actually wanted it, and that was a sum up. Also, you guys can actually find the price reveal on the internet as well on YouTube. They actually released the prices for the Xbox One in different countries. It's pretty much all the same all round. Nothing's converted back into English pounds or Great British pounds to US dollars. Nothing is converted that way. It's just one lump as it is. I believe it's $500 or 450 Great British pounds. Not too sure, don't hold me against that, but it's something along the lines of that. He did mess up on the prices at the actual live press conference, which is really bad to not know your actual product. And also, they had to restart the actual interview or the actual chat because the amount of boos that they were getting in the stage or the theatre itself. If you guys want to do that, there's loads of videos on the actual YouTube. I can actually find one in particular that I wanted. They all cut the boos out, but I think there should be one on the internet. So as always guys, thanks ever so much for watching. Make sure you check out the PS4 one and what my thoughts were of the PS4. Sorry this video is a little bit late. Make sure you read the description as well, that is key to this video. And as always guys, Killerkev out.
All systems are go.